In the video that was leaked of Sidney Powell last week, where she was talking with prosecutors in Georgia about, all of the horrible things that she did at Donald Trump's request, she made one shocking admission that honestly should completely blow up Donald Trump's only possible legal defense. Here is what Sidney Powell had to say that, of course, was rather shocking that she is now willing to admit it. She was asked specifically, why did Trump listen to you? And here's what she said. Because we were the only ones willing to support his effort to sustain the White House. I mean, everybody else was telling him to pack up and go. This, of course, was corroborated with Jenna Ellis, one of the other Trump lawyers who has not only accepted a plea deal, but was also on the side of Powell and Giuliani, telling him, no, you can do it, bud, keep going. But Sidney Powell just admitted that there were other lawyers telling Donald Trump he couldn't do it. In fact, most of the other lawyers, based on her statement, were telling Donald Trump, listen, man, it's over. Let's go ahead and start boxing up your stuff because you're going to be moving to Mar-a-Lago. You are not staying in the White House. You lost, and there's nothing we can do about it. So how does that blow up Donald Trump's legal defense, you might be wondering? Glad you're asking. Well, it turns out that Donald Trump is most likely, according to his lawyers, going to invoke an advice of counsel defense, which means he is going to walk into court and say, I didn't know the law because I'm not the lawman. These are the lawyers. They know the law. They told me it was legal for me to do this, so I did it on their advice. Sidney Powell's statement, and of course her testimony when she eventually gets called to the stand to testify against him, because she will, she's already telling hey, there were other lawyers. These lawyers, most of them, they outnumbered us, and they said, you can't do it. But that's not what he wanted to hear. He wanted to hear that he could do it. That's what we told him. That's why he liked us. That's why he trusted us. So it is what it is, right? That is going to blow up that advice of counsel defense, because you cannot in court make that argument that you were just listening to the advice of your lawyers when your other lawyers, the people who also worked for you, told you you couldn't do it. Because then it's going to come down, prosecutors are going to grill him. Why'd you listen to these folks and not these folks? Why did you completely dismiss these legal arguments, but you embraced these legal arguments? And Trump's not going to have an answer for that, but the answer will have already been given by the other witnesses, like Sidney Powell testified, and that is, they were telling me what I wanted to hear. These guys were telling me what I didn't want to hear. So I went with the people who, according to other parts of the indictment, I routinely would attack as lunatics or drunks. So yeah, let's not forget that part, folks. That is definitely something that not only has Jack Smith been drilling down on it, Fonnie Willis has. So Trump attacked the lawyers who were telling him he could do it. He, joked about Rudy Giuliani's drinking based on what we know. He, according to conversations, referred to Sidney Powell as a lunatic. He didn't believe these people were up to par, but he took their advice anyway over the normal lawyers. Sidney Powell admits it. She explains why it happened, and Trump will have absolutely no defense when it comes time for trial. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.